I just needed to get back live. Mm, so much going on. We done had two terrorist attacks today. How y'all doing? Oh, wow. I just got my own notification. So the notifications are going out. I just got my own. Mm. I want to see if some people come in the room. See if some people come in the room. Oh, I'm sorry. I just woke up from a nap. Mm. Oh, shoot. Here I come. Hey. All right, let's get into it. What's going on? So, Trump done it again, didn't he? Every time, like, the Democrats came out and talked about to capture Maduro, free him, it failed. The Venezuelan people were so happy about Maduro. Now you got the Iranian people, they are so happy with what Trump has done. This is what the sound of freedom sounds like. Under 47 years, hey Sadif, hi, how you doing? They have been under a dictatorship. They are not even Muslims. They're Zoroastrians. I know that's not how you say it. Zionist. They're Persians. They're not Arabic. That's good. And the Iranian people are so happy with what Trump has done. If y'all can't see the bigger picture, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Because the people are ecstatic, and now they can bring the rightful heir, the king, back, descendants of the king back, and put them in power. And then have an election. I'm good, Sadiq. How are you? So I'm going to read, and then we're going to get into some videos. Iran's Kamali killed in U.S.-Israeli strikes after nearly 40-year reign. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei was killed after a massive U.S.-Israeli military operation Saturday. And let me just tell you this. Before this happened, Iran sent a bomb to Dubai. Nobody ever bombs Dubai. They sent a bomb to Qatar, the richest country in the world, for real, and bombed the U.S. military base. Then they sent a missile to Israel, and they sent a missile somewhere else. And do you think there wasn't going to be any retaliation? No, I don't. I'm not a kid. I thought Roblox was for kids. No, I never played Roblox. No. President Trump said, joining multiple Israel official sources, a senior U.S. intelligence official who had confirmed the news to CBS. Kamali, one of the most evil people in history, is dead, President Trump posted on social media. He added that the U.S. government is hearing that many of their IRGC military and other security and police forces no longer want to fight and are looking for immunity from the U.S. Hey, Auntie. How you doing? Thank you. Hey, Addison. How you doing, love? President Trump continued that the heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or so, as long as necessary to achieve our objectives of peace throughout the Middle East and indeed the world. Kamali, one of the, okay, I see it. That Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says Saturday there are growing signs that Kamali is gone after the mission. When asked if Kamali had been killed, President Trump earlier told NBC News by phone on Saturday he has spoken to a lot of people beyond, and we feel that that is the correct story. People are cheering in the streets of Tehran, according to CBS News producer in Tehran. But the state media in Tehran has not confirmed Kamali's death, neither has the Iranian Foreign Ministry. Where am I from? I'm in Detroit. The people that make all the decisions, most of them are gone. The Israel Defense Forces said in a press conference Saturday that 7 Iranian officials and commanders were killed, including al-Shamhani, an advisor to Kamali. Kamali, 86, has been Israel's supreme leader since 1989, succeeding the leader of Iran's 1979 revolution, Ayatollah Khomeini. Kamali controlled all branches of government and the military and was considered the spiritual leader. It's unclear who succeeded him. Yes, it is time. In Iran's hierarchy, Kamali had no one to answer to but God. On the job, however, he was a hostage to the powerful competing political factions of his nation. Against all odds, he managed to keep them loyal for more than 3 decades, and they helped him enforce an Islamic regime the majority of Iranians no longer want. Hey, Therapy. Love you. Therapy, I'm sorry I missed your call. I don't know what I was doing that day. The Ayatollah backed the ruthless suppression of the political dissent and turned a blind eye to corruption and abuse among those he relied on, especially a powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. There's corruption across the whole system, said director of Middle East and North Africa program at London's Chatham House think tank. He describes Kamali as a bit of pragmatist, someone who understood the distribution of power, that for this system to survive, you need loyalty and you need loyalties. Born in northern city of Mashhad, Kamali was second of 8 children. He was educated at various Islamic seminaries, and as a young man, he studied under the man who would become Iran's first supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini. In 79, I'm giving you the history now. Facts, Therapy. And you know what about, we're going to get into, what about that terrorist attack that happened in Austin, Texas today? Wasn't that today? And I think it happened in Austin, Texas. Or was it yesterday? In 79, he joined the Islamic Revolution that toppled the pro-Western regime of Iran's royal family. He was brought into the ruling inner circle, serving briefly as the new Islamic Republic's deputy defense minister. Oh yeah, it's big. I got it. I got it. They unalived. It was a naturalized African man from Senegal who had on a La t-shirt that went in the bar and unalived 3 Americans. On June 4th, 89, following Ayatollah Khamenei's death, Kamali was elected by the country's powerful Governing Council of 88 Islamic scholars to be the new supreme leader. So he wasn't even put in by an election of the people. It was by the Islamic Council that put him in power. Wow. I never knew that. He lacked the individual authority of his predecessor, so Kamali built a network of allies and cronies to bolster his grip on power. In his book, Reading Kamali, Karam Sajapur of Carnegie Endowment for International Peace wrote that Iranian leader handpicks the organization's senior command and shuffles them regularly. He also oversaw the Guard's rapid rise to become Iran's most powerful political and economic institution. In 2003, Kamali issued a fatwa, an undisputed religious edict forbidding the production, stockpiling, or use of weapons of mass destruction on the grounds that it was forbidden by Islam. But despite the public shining of such weapons, he gave his implicit backing to the expansion of Iran's nuclear program. Kamali's government boasted its stockpiles of near weapons grade uranium. A U.S. intelligence assessment May 2025 said the country almost certainly is not producing nuclear weapons, but Iran has undertaken activities in recent years that better position it to produce them if it chooses to do so. So now they go into the years of conflict with the U.S. and oh, thank you. Thank you for saying I got nice skin with my old ass. But anyway, President Trump has said Iran must completely give up hopes of attaining a nuclear weapon. And this started when Barack Obama with negotiations and he released that $1.7 billion that he gave to Iran because Iran for them not to do this. I'm not optimistic about negotiations and they will lead nowhere, he declared in the 2014 speech. This is what Barack Obama said, but I'm not against them. I'm not reading all of this. Yeah, I'm not reading all this. President Trump in 2018 pulled the U.S. out of international nuclear agreement with Iran that was negotiated under his predecessor. Kamali turned it into I told you so moment, holding it up as evidence that Washington could not be trusted. Okay, we're not going to get into the rest of that. Now, this satellite pictures of the bombing. That was where Kamali lived, and you see it is level. They bombed the shit out of that. I mean, I'm not going to get off into this. The photos provided to Business Insider by Airbus show several collapsed buildings inside a compound in Tehran, which is known to one of Kamali's main residences. So we know he did now. I ain't got to read that. One of the heavily damaged buildings in the compound at the bottom left of the image is the House of Leadership, which is known as Kamali's office and principal place of residence. Well, they bombed the hell out of that. Oh, shit. You asked if she a woman. Y'all dating on here? But this another picture of the bombed compound. Oh, so they found his body. Kamali's body has been found. I missed that. I forgot I had that. And this is who he is. They found his body, but we're going to get into... Oh, you from Pakistan? Pakistan and India, should they still getting into it? All right, and this is what happened. Yeah, it happened today, therapy. 3 dead, 14 injured in 6th Street mass shooting. Yeah, it happened today. Killed 3. He dead now, though. I'm going to get it, but that's another talk for another day. Okay, let's get into some videos. Oh, I know it was Trump versus Iran. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. Oh, here we go. This is the history of Iran.
Iran is not an Islamic nation. It's a nation that was colonized by Islam. Our indigenous faith is Zoroastrianism. That's why young Iranians across Iran are coming out and saying that they are not Muslim. They are Iranian and Zoroastrian. And a lot of people don't understand just how brave that is, because leaving Islam in Iran is punishable by death. In the past few nights, thousands of Iranians have been slaughtered by the Islamic regime for coming out and protesting and standing up for who they are and who their ancestors were. And this is a pattern that's been happening for 1400 years. In the 7th century AD, Muhammad used his newly founded religion to conquer and colonize the Arabian Peninsula. He massacred communities that refused to convert to Islam. For example, in 627 AD, the Islamic army massacred the Jewish community of Banu Qurayza. They executed every single man in the community and forcibly took their wives and daughters as slaves. See, in the Quran, it says that if you kill a man in battle, you have a right to his wife, and you're allowed to have up to 4 wives. So colonization of indigenous communities is encoded into the Quran. From there, they went on to conquer and colonize Iran, which was traditionally a Zoroastrian land for thousands of years. And within Iran, multiple religions flourished, such as Judaism and Christianity, because core principles of Zoroastrianism are freedom of choice and equality of all humans. At first, those who refused to convert were murdered. They began to realize that Iranians didn't want to convert to Islam, and they couldn't murder every Iranian because they depended on Iranians for their caliphate's economy to function. So what they did is made Zoroastrians and other religious groups second-class citizens. Under Islamic rule, Zoroastrians were not allowed to ride horses. We weren't allowed to have dogs, which are sacred in Zoroastrianism. And we had to wear specific clothing that identified us as non-Muslim and Zoroastrian. Does that sound familiar? And on top of stripping away all of our native cultural traditions, we had to pay a tax for not being Muslim called a jizya tax. And we had to do it through a humiliation ritual where we went and bowed to our Muslim rulers and paid them our tax. And under the Islamic law, if you converted to Islam, you got to get the inheritance from your deceased relatives instead of your Zoroastrian relatives. And for a long period of time after those initial conquests, we weren't even allowed to speak our language, Farsi. This is all documented in the book 2 Centuries of Silence. I highly recommend reading it. And so this system of Islamic colonization forced many of our ancestors to convert to Islam simply out of convenience. If you're not allowed to ride a horse, how are you able to get to the next town to sell your goods? If you have to pay an extra tax that your neighbors and competitors in business don't have to pay, then you get screwed. This oppression continued for centuries with every following Muslim dynasty that ruled Iran, except for the Pahlavi dynasty. Before the Safavid Empire, there were over 500,000 Zoroastrians in Iran.
You 42?
At the end of the Safavid Empire, there were only 100,000 left after mass murders of Zoroastrians. After that, the Qajar dynasty took the number of Zoroastrians in Iran from 100,000 down to 10,000. Now, Zoroastrians fought.
She just said she was 42, therapy.
And we still exist to this day. Small communities continue to exist in places like Yazd, and a lot of Zoroastrians had to flee to India in order to maintain their faith. Thanks to those people, I was able to revert to Zoroastrianism.
Wow, I had no idea they flew it.
And helped me kind of unravel generations of trauma, and it's helped me become a much better husband and father and member of my community. And that's what brave Iranians are fighting for and dying for right now in the streets of Iran. The right to be themselves, the right to their indigenous faith and culture, the right to freedom. In Iran, it's illegal for women to show their hair.
She just said, in the message you hear, she said she was 42.
But that's not who we are. In Zoroastrian
Unblock her.
Women were extremely well respected. They were businesswomen. They were military commanders. They were queens who ruled the entire empire. And a huge difference in Zoroastrianism is that we don't say that the woman has to be subservient to the man. We say that the man and woman must earn each other through righteousness every day.
I like that.
We're not, it's very easy to say that you're superior because of the gender you were born with.
Thank you.
The harder and more challenging path is to earn your place and earn your respect every day. And that's what Zoroastrianism calls on us to do. The Islamic regime has blacked out the internet. They turn off the switch whenever these protests happen so they can slaughter our people in the dark. So if any of this connects or resonates with you, we need your help. I don't think many people understand that this is potentially the most significant point.
But if you would have listened to her second message, she said she was not 16. She said she was 42, but she Pakistani. Pakistani. Okay, cool.
Here's what's happening in Iran right now and why so many Jewish people care about it. Jews used to live in Iran in peace for 2,500 years since Cyrus the Great freed us. Then 1979 happened, and somehow of all the timelines, I picked the one where I'm born, Jewish in Iran during the Islamic dictatorship. For 2,500 years, Jews, Persians, Turks, Kurds, Christians, Zoroastrians, Armenians, Baha'is lived together. Then the 1979 Islamic Revolution shows up like, cool history you got here. It would be a shame if we rewrote it. Suddenly, minorities go from neighbors to suspicious international plot. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, aka IRGC, starts spreading misinformation about Jews. And no, this isn't subtle misinformation. It's like Jews control everything. They're ugly, they smell, and they are everywhere. Which is impressive, honestly, because if we really controlled everything, you'd think we'd start with the PR. Thousands of Iranian minorities were killed. The rest got the message. 95% of Iranian Jews left. Now, technically, Jews aren't murdered in Iran just for being Jewish. They even give Jews a seat in parliament. Isn't that cute? It's like giving someone a chair in a room where you control the news. Because here's the part they don't put on the brochure. If any of those Jews speak out against the regime, And now you're watching the Iranian people rise up again. Women, students, workers, mothers chanting woman life freedom, getting shot for it by the IRGC. And what's different this time is that people aren't just protesting, they're talking about what comes next. You're hearing chants, you're seeing signs, you're seeing calls for Reza Pahlavi, not as king, not as a ruler, but as a transition figure. Someone to help Iran move out of dictatorship and into a secular, liberal democracy.
Now
Free
read that,
elections,
Therapy.
freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and a government that actually fears its people, not the other way around. That's why the regime is panicking right now. Because when people start imagining a future, dictatorships don't survive. The regime says this is all foreign influence, which is wild because Iranians don't need outside help to get angry. Lack of freedom did that. Forced hijab did that. Morality police did that. Arrest for showing your hair did that. Getting beaten up for dancing did that. Prison for singing did that. Internet shutdowns did that. Fear of saying the wrong thing did that. College degrees with zero job prospects did that. Taxi drivers with PhDs did that. Families torn apart did that. Exile did that. Never being able to go home did that. Watching your country burn from afar did that. Survivor's guilt did that. Reality did that. This isn't about Jews versus Muslims. This is about people versus dictatorship. It's about a government so afraid of its own people that it needs bullets, prisons, and propaganda to survive. My story is Persian Jewish, but what's happening right now is Iranian. And if this regime stays in power, no voice is safe. Iranian people don't need saving. They do need support. If you want to help the Iranian people, please share about this because silence is the regime's favorite ally. Here's what's happening in Iran right now and why so many Jews.
And let me tell you, Trump said help is on the way. He came through with a bombshell, didn't he? This is the sound of freedom. This is the sound of freedom. Well, I think we ought to care therapy because Russia got a missile locked on us right now. This could be the Third World War. It could be. So I think it's important. This is the Iranian people. This is when Trump said help is on the way. Therapy is a bigger picture than that, babe. It's a bigger picture than that. It really is. It really is. This is them unaliving the protesters in Iran. So that's them. Damn, it keep. I'm deleting this because now I'm gonna get to today. This is some of the old stuff.
Iran is not an Islamic nation. It's a nation.
Okay, I ain't got to. Why is it playing that?
Iran is not an Islamic.
Okay, let me do that. Let me do this.
Cuba Stern, you are the only one with balls in the world to give us freedom. Free Venezuela, free Iran, and now for free Cuba. Please, Trump, we need you. Now it's Cuba Stern. You are the only one with balls in the world to give us freedom. Free Venezuela, free Iran, and now for free Cuba.
Now Cuba asking Trump to free them. He the only one.
There is a prophecy talk about exactly what's happening right now in Iran. Jeremiah 49, this chapter talk about the fall of the axis of evil, Damascus, Syria, and more. Exactly what we saw in the last year. All of these lead to one nation. Verse 35, Elam, the ancient Persian, what we call Iran. I will break the bow of Elam, their foremost of their might. We'll literally see
30
all their
days.
military plans,
Ramadan,
nuclear
30
weapons,
days.
missiles. But here is something amazing. Through the weapon, we'll focus on the one thing. Verse
He's
38,
not
I will
Muslim,
destroy
honey.
from there the king and the princes. And in the verse later, I will bring back the captivity of Elam. And this is exactly what we see. The Bible clearly says this regime that took control with radical ideas will be judged, but the people will rise again to what Elam used to be. So if we want to stand with God's words and what the Bible say here, we need to stand these brave people of Iran against this evil. Everything's in the Bible. So what do you think? Is this prophecy going to be fulfilled very soon, or maybe it will take some more time? God bless you. Well, there is a prophecy talk about exact.
U.S. is quietly getting ready for a possible strike on Iran. Reports say the Trump administration is drawing up early attack plans, including airstrikes on Iranian military and nuclear sites. This doesn't mean an attack is coming tomorrow, but it does mean the option is being prepared. No jets have moved yet, no troops are deployed, but the plans are real, and this is happening while Iran is under huge pressure at home. Mass protests are...
Well, Ramadan is every year. They've been doing this for centuries. So it's 30 days.
Punishment. President Trump says the U.S. is watching closely and has warned Iran not to crack down too hard. He says America is ready to step in if people are harmed. Iran's leader Ali Khamenei says the U.S. is behind the unrest and tells his supporters
nothing
that
wrong with
Washington wants
asking.
chaos
That's okay.
inside Iran. So this is no longer just a protest story. It's a pressure campaign. The U.S. is using Iran's internal crisis as leverage, while Iran is trying to show it won't be pushed. Right now, nothing has been fired, but once both sides start preparing their moves, things can shift fast. U.S. is quietly getting ready for a possible strike on Iran. Report. U.S. is
Oh,
quietly...
shit. Damn it. I'm deleting this stuff.
I posted my last video thinking that it would only be for the friends that I know in person. Turns out I've got thousands of friends out there in the world that are there to support me and my people. And God knows how grateful I am for that. If I go back in time, I would post that video all over again, simply because I choose to be on the right side of the history. I choose freedom all day, every day. I choose to be the voice of those that do not have a voice. I choose to be the voice of those that are sacrificing their lives for a better future for me, my kids, and my next generation. If I go back in time, I would post that video because I, as an Iranian, am sick of dictatorship and sick of getting killed, getting shot, being scared to speak out. I would post that video all over again because I want a better future. Javi Cha, God bless Iran. I posted my last video.
I agree, Therapy. I agree with you 100%.
This is breaking news. President Trump has just issued a major statement about the protests in Iran. He posted to Truth Social saying, Iranian patriots keep protesting. Take over
you
your
had 3
institutions.
children, honey?
Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. He goes on to say, I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. Help is on its way. MIGA, which stands for Make Iran Great Again, signed by the president. Again, this is a major statement from President Trump as the White House continues to...
Well, he did the damn thing. I ain't mad.
The Iranian regime wasn't just terrorizing its own civilians, they were terrorizing Ukrainians. That's why the drones that fly over the city every single night are called Shahed drones. Those are weapons designed and made by the Iranian regime, which is a terrorist regime. The Iranian regime has already shipped a huge amount of its gold in the last few weeks to Moscow, because it's always about Moscow. That's where Assad fled. And if that regime falls, it would be a disaster for Putin. If you look at all of his friends and alliances over the last couple of years, you can cross off Assad, you can cross off Maduro. If you cross off Ayatollah, he's looking pretty much on his own. And that is Iran is huge. It also gives them access to the Gulf, where they can have ships operating. They would lose that.
Okay, there we go.
The Iranian army right now, the military, they have a lot of resources, and they've been helping and assisting Russia since the beginning.
Damn.
It would be very, very damp.
Right. She keep calling me. I'm live. Damn. Get on my nerve. I am live. Coming alive.
یه تماسی الان نیافته الان از یکی از دوستان در ایران من خواهش میکنم میدونم سخته برای هممون الان ولی گوش بدین و فکر کنم باید هر جور شده اینو انتشار بدیم یا اینو یا هر پیامی از ایران میاد.
Yeah, she messed up my whole train of thought. For real.
I want to talk a bit about what the president just had to say, but I want to read this Truth Social post to you, which I found interesting. He just posted this a little while ago, the president saying, Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and the abusers. They will pay a big price. I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killings of protesters stop. Help is on its way. MIGA, M-I-G-A, which I assume means make Iran great again. President Donald J. Trump. All right, your reaction to that, Steve?
Well, it's pretty clear. He made comments, I believe, on Air Force One today as well. He is serious about watching the Iranian situation change for the first time.
Austin Shadi, hi.
We talked a bit about foreign policy. He has spent a lot of time on the economy, as you know. But look, Iran is in the headlines because a lot of us thought this would die down like it did in 2019. It has not. The latest figures I was just reading just before I came on, more than 3,000 people killed now by the Iranian militia, the IRGC. So it's becoming very serious. And here's what I've seen online as well. These people that are rising up against the Ayatollah and the Islamic State there are willing to take a bullet. They're willing to stand there and take off their hijabs and say, look, we don't care. Women take them off. They get beaten. They get taken off to prison, sometimes executed. And they're at a point of desperation in that country where they're like, we're not interested anymore. And so I think President Trump is making it known that maybe there's a lifeline coming. And look, when he warns people, if you don't pay attention, it's at your own peril.
It sure is. Now, here, man. And that's what I get. You know what I understand? I don't think Americans like real leadership, or because he's a man. He's a man. He can make those tough decisions. And I think people don't respect that. He's a leader.
I'm in London.
This is London. This is London.
Talk to these people. What's your name?
Uriah,
My name is Paris.
Mehrdad, what's your name?
I'm not telling you.
Why are you not telling the name or hiding the face?
Obvious that I'm worried about the people I have back home. They're not just killing one person. They're killing the whole family.
I have seen how brutal they can get. They started
William.
shooting inside the university while
Yes,
we
William.
were doing a very gentle protest. not breaking anything, not holding even a stone. And they started shooting inside the walls.
I've been in prison for 3 months. I was 20 years old
For what?
for coming to the street.
Some of my friends, they have changed their religion. They go there, they are hanged.
Obviously, we are fighting, and we believe that this is the final battle.
If the government going to be changed, I'm gonna go straight away tomorrow. After
Really?
17 years, which is I built my life here.
Really?
I'm gonna go back there, yeah.
What happened in Iran, it could happen anywhere.
Why are there only Iranians here?
I think because of the media, from what I've seen, I think because a lot of countries, a lot of people don't want our voices to be heard because it kind of shows the true nature of Islam and what they've been doing. So I think if this regime falls, it will be a lot of people will lose their benefits.
What can be the future relations to Israel?
Definitely it's going to be good. We don't have any issue with the Israel people. We don't have any issue, any problem, no. That's our government. We don't have any problem with any part of the world.
I haven't been talking to my family for last more than 72 hours. I keep calling them. I keep sending them message because I know when the internet is back, all my messages will come up. And I just keep telling them, I love them, I love them, I love them. And we will get rid of this chaos soon.
Let me view this message.
I decided to talk to these people. What's your name?
Uriah.
My name is Paris.
Save, you ain't have to say that.
Why are you?
We're gonna delete that.
Hiding the face.
Obvious that
Okay, now I'm gonna get to today. This is before when Trump. Oh, wait a minute, I think I want to say this. I want to play this one.
Okay, so quick update on Iran. I'm currently at the Istanbul International Airport where all the flights to and from Iran are cancelled except the Iranian flights, which they just want to pretend that everything is fine and everything is under control, which is obviously not, because all the Iranians who are coming from Iran are saying the same thing. There is mass protests. The revolution is still happening and they are shooting people with real ammunition. They have the right from the authorities to do so, and they are doing that. And they're killing people, and they say the number of deaths are far more than what the media tells us. They are shooting everyone, and there's still complete digital blackout after 6 hours. There's no SMS possible, no texting possible, no calling possible, no internet connection, nothing. But the people have nothing to lose, and they're still showing up. And we need to be their voice while they don't have a voice right now. Okay, so quick update on Iran. I'm currently at the...
This is when Trump said help is on the way. I'm getting to the new stuff now. This is before.
Trump, we need you. Now it's Cuba's.
Therapy, this is the first time I gotta totally disagree with you. Them people have been massacred over there. Oh, I'm gonna show this one, then I'm gonna get to the new
This
stuff.
is a message to all of my Iranian and my Persian coconuts out there. This is for the Iranians who are born in the UK, like me, or born in the USA because your parents fled the country after 1979, after the Islamic Revolution took over. Maybe like me, you've never had the experience of going to Iran. Maybe like me, Farsi shama kheli bade. And maybe like me, you were robbed of the cultural experiences that we could have had if we were born on our homeland because of this tyrannical Islamic regime. I know you might feel disconnected, but these are still your people. This is still your bloodline. And they are fighting so hard to be free of this Islamic regime. So please help them out. If you have a social media presence, spread this message. If you don't know what's happening in your home country, do some research about where you come from. Because this is more than just about us. This is about the pain our parents went through, the pain our grandparents went through. Do not forget the roots that you come from. This is
Now we're gonna get to, now I'm gonna go to current. I'm gonna go back and forth. All right, now let me get to the current stuff. Oh, let me go, what is this? Oh no, here go the body bags. Here go the body bags of what they did. This is them unaliving they citizens. That's the massacre. That's part of the massacre. Okay, let me go to what's happening today. Iran. I got it under this one. Here we go.
The people in Iran, the one thing that they want is President Trump to intervene. I'm speaking to many people who are protesting through VPN lines, and it's hard to gauge. We hear from human rights groups that are coming out that people have been detained, people have been beaten, people have been sexually assaulted. There's actually a report we have today from a Kurdish human rights network stating that child was sexually assaulted, and that also there were many, many people that they can't find. So we're dealing with a situation with a blackout, of course, right now, not knowing what's really happening on the ground. As much as we think we can get, that is all we are hearing from multiple groups at the moment, and I think any network will tell you that. The people on the ground,
That's what's happening. That regime needed to come down a long time ago. This is America. This is how it moved. Before they started striking, this was the movement in the sea. This is America to save the day. This is them killing, unaliving their citizens. Right, Alice. That's the Iranian regime unaliving its own people for protesting.
Hello, Mr. President Trump. We are Iranians. We are independent now. And we are against the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Islamic regime has deliberately shut down the internet to carry out crimes against humanity in Iran. The Iranian people took to the street to protest the devastating conditions created by the corrupt Islamic Republic, and the regime responded by opening fire on civilians and carrying out mass killings. This is not a technical failure. It is a calculated strategy to enable repression and violence and darkness. Internet access in Iran has been almost entirely cut off. Even if Starlink is not functioning.
Exactly, William. Exactly.
And we Iranians living abroad have no reliable information about our families and fellow citizens. This forced silence and uncertainty are pushing us to the edge of despair. We urgently call on the international community to act immediately to ensure communication channels in Iran are restored and protected. Internet access as a lifeline that saves lives, enables documentation of crimes.
And let me tell you, they think Trump, they think, man, you got to see this.
You know, we have a lot of ships going that direction, just in case. We have a big flotilla going in that direction. And we'll see what happens. We have a big force going toward Iran. I'd rather not see anything happen, but we're watching them very closely. I saw 837 hangings on Thursday.
837 hangings.
Every one of them would have been hung. This is like from 1,000 years ago. This is an ancient culture.
Absolutely, William. Absolutely.
But it's an ancient culture. 837, mostly young men, were going to be hung on Thursday. And I said, if you hang those people, you're going to be hit harder than you've ever been hit. It'll make what we did to your Iran nuclear look like peanuts. And
Go on, Trump.
an hour before this horrible thing was going to take place, they canceled it. And they actually said they canceled it. They didn't postpone it. They canceled it. So that was a good sign. But we have an armada. We have a massive fleet heading in that direction. And maybe we want.
One thing about you ain't got to like the man, but when he mean what he say what he mean.
Hey, Trump, we need you.
Now Cuba calling on Trump.
Sometimes I get frustrated and I forget that I'm talking to.
Okay, I'm not gonna play that. Wait a minute.
At almost 80 years old, Donald Trump could be retired, living among mansions, private jets, and absolute luxury without answering to anyone. A billionaire with more than $12 billion, he did not need power or exposure. And yet, he chose to lead the most powerful country in the world. In just 1 year of his second term, he did more than many presidents in full terms.
Facts.
The economy began to breathe again. Employment was strengthened, investment returned, national industry was reactivated, and the border stopped being a joke. America became great again because Americans were prioritized, not bureaucrats or foreign agendas.
I don't know how that popped up, because that is not the video I was playing, but
Inflationary pressure.
this is a woman in Iran being attacked.
آره هولش داد منم میگم هول آخه بی پدر و مادر لعنت بر اون پدر و مادرت
During the protest.
آخ آخ
This is what's going on.
استش های حرام زده
This is who they want to come in from the monarchy before Ayatollah took over.
In the middle of what's happening, I think I can update you with the latest news that I had from Iran itself. I just got off the phone with a political prisoner that managed to somehow connect to the internet. And here's what the situation on the ground is. It's a ongoing war between the people and this regime. The regime has massacred them, and it is in total darkness that it is carrying out even more brutality by shooting people in hospitals under the direct order of Khamenei, not to let anyone who was even wounded alive. That's the extent of their brutality, and the numbers you quoted is correct. We anticipate at least 20,000 people dead, if not more, across the land. Now, one thing that the world and this audience needs to realize is that these brave Iranians are saying, we are fighting not just for our own liberation, but to free the world from this terrorist regime. Their commitment is to fight to the very end, and this is the momentum that we have right now. And what could change the odds in their favor is the much needed neutralization of the regime's instruments of repression, which can only occur based on what the president stated a few days ago, that it will be consequential for the regime using the brutality against the people. And you should not believe a word the regime says, because as an act of desperation, they're trying to buy time. They will make the same false promises that they've done before, and you cannot rely on their words at all. In the middle of
Now, that's who they want to replace, and that's who's going to be put in as the interim president until they hold elections. But that's who the people want. Now, this is Ayatollah children. While Iranians are being slaughtered, they partying. Look at this shit.
80 years old, Donald Trump.
Oh shit! I don't know how that came out. I don't know. This them partying. This is kids.
Foul. So when I call your name, step to the.
Damn.
That whether we are black or brown or white, we all bleed the same red blood of patriots. We all enjoy the same glorious freedoms, and we all salute this.
I don't know how this stuff is coming up, because this is not the one. This is what I want to show.
My favorite quote outside.
What the hell is happening?
Everyone needs to see this.
Let me share some of the biggest lessons I've learned from a lifetime spent.
What the hell is happening? Damn, maybe. Okay, let me go to this one. This is before the strike.
25,000 U.S. elite troops and Delta forces have now been deployed in multiple places. So Jordan, UAE, and Qatar. Now, the interesting thing about this
That's right.
is that
That's right, Alice. That's right.
some of the troops are actually being sent towards the bases in the Arab countries. They might not stay there. So as we wait for the arrival of USS Abraham Lincoln and other aircraft carriers, what we are expecting is some of these troops to then go on that and obviously regroup and then launch from there potentially. So 25,000 in addition to the existing ones that they have already deployed. So earlier on, a few hours ago, we got this confirmation even on the flight radar that 10 new refueling tankers had just left the United States. About 3 or 4 of them are heading towards Al Udeid, which is the airbase in Qatar. The rest of them landing in Europe temporarily. Now, the Wall Street Journal have also confirmed that both Patriot and the THAAD air defense systems are now being moved towards the Middle East. So when the US are increasing the defense capabilities. So obviously most of the stuff that the Americans are doing over the last week, it has been the offensive resources that they have. You know,
He was coming all along when he said help is on the way. This is before they landed. Here they come. This is when they was on the way. Kyra, you want to be a moderator? I can make you a moderator. This is when they preparing to
Developing
strike.
news coming out today that it looks like a U.S. attack on Iran
Okay, let me
is
make you.
set. As take a look at the latest headlines with me. Reports that U.S. aircraft carrier, the USS Lincoln, is now within striking distance of Iran. The USS Lincoln aircraft carrier is one of several ships that are thought to be heading towards the
hit
Middle East.
something.
They're saying they have now arrived and are within striking distance. Donald Trump's Armada nears the Middle East amid reports that the USS Lincoln, it is now in striking distance. Iran warns that any attack will mean all-out war after Trump says that the U.S. Armada is on its way. Here's another one. The IRGC leader warns Iran has its finger on the trigger
Yes,
as it
William.
awaits the U.S. Armada more ready than ever, they are saying. We're hearing that Iran's supreme leader has retreated underground.
He went to hiding.
U.S. airstrike, and they're saying that the likelihood is so high that he has decided to get underground in Iran. And this coming out today, just a little while ago, Iran unveiled a mural warning of retaliation if the United States conducts a military strike. And take a look at this mural. I'm going to play for you some video footage from different angles. This is in Tehran, and you can see here on the left, the blue is the U.S.
And he didn't play because before Trump's strike, he sent a missile to Dubai, a missile to Qatar at the U.S. Air Base, missiles to Israel. So he knew this was coming.
Developing news coming out today that it looks like a...
Oh, shoot. I must have got that on there twice. Let me delete that. This is the Ayatollah Kamali spotted at the airport. Because he got his kids and all that out the country. Now, this is the daughter of him. This is Elon Musk letting the people connect to Starlink to show what was happening. That's right, William. That's right. Hey, Marvin. They sure do.
Can you give a basic summary? What are the tactics they're describing? What's the whole process for how this unfolds for maybe a typical ICE convoy?
So, as soon as they see a vehicle that they believe is federal law enforcement.
Oh, that don't belong here. Oh shit. Let me no, not that one. Okay, I'm getting to what's going on today. We're moving past this. Maybe I better start from the end. Yeah, let me start. This is a guy in London changed into the real Iranian flag after Trump spoke. This is the sound of freedom. This is the sound of freedom. He's putting up the real Iranian flag. This is in London. They, man, listen. This is historic, man. This is historic. Saudi Arabia agrees to join U.S. Israel in operation against Iran after U.S. base in their kingdom was attacked. I forgot it was Saudi Arabia. Damn.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia says they will join the U.S. in the operation against the Islamic Republic of Iran. They said that this comes in the wake of Iran attacking the U.S. base in Saudi Arabia. I just spoke to a senior U.S. official who said the Iranians made a big mistake by firing on Arab coalition partners. Now they are likely to respond. So by Iran firing missiles at UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan, they are now likely to fire back at Iranian targets. So those coalition partners are now going to enter this operation that started off as a U.S.-Israeli operation. That is very, very significant, and we haven't seen that happen in the past. The U.S. military has been focusing on high-value targets, I'm told, the IRGC, significant facilities. I can say is new right now. We're just getting word that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia says they will join the U.S. in the operation against the Islamic Republic of Iran. They said that this comes in the wake of...
So after they struck and sent them missiles, you think that the United States wasn't going to respond? And you got the Democrats talking about, oh no, y'all support this man who had massacred his people? I will never vote Democrat. Ever. This is Washington, D.C. today. The Iranian people are, look, they are out there praising Trump. This is Washington, D.C. And you got them saying, this is them striking Dubai. This is Iran striking Dubai.
Good evening and welcome to a special Saturday 5. Tonight, it's war.
Dubai ain't never been hit.
The latest is the US and Israel launched strikes on Iran. Several top Iranian military commanders have reportedly been killed. Iran's Ayatollah may also be dead. Here's how it started. You'll remember all those months ago, the Iranians took to the
I'm not going to let this play because I got to get out of here. But then you got the stupid ass Americans, Iran protesters who ain't Iran, and plus who, anyway, watch this shit.
Per Fox News, in the dark of night, 10 minutes before Donald Trump even announced that the U.S. and Israel had attacked Iran, a network of U.S. nonprofits aligned with China, Russia, and Tehran activated foot soldiers to hit America's streets. These are those streets. I got to this protest in New York City 30 minutes early, and here you can see me right behind them with all of their signs. I wanted to get this video out to you as soon as possible, so there will be no commentary, and please enjoy these raw interviews.
So all the People's Forum protesters are right over there. Did you watch President Trump's address?
Unfortunately not.
But you out there protesting and you ain't even watched the shit. The fuck?
Talking about Palestine. I thought this was an Iran thing. So, would you rather that we be allies with Iran than Israel?
Yes. Gotta say, I'm a big fan of it.
Unfucking believable. Americans are dumb as fuck.
Are you guys live streaming?
Yeah.
I just want to say this is disgusting. It's sad that tens of thousands of Persian people have died, and the one day people decide to get together and say something about it is the day that the U.S. makes a strike. It has nothing to do with the innocent lives, and the brotherhood of Israel and America and Iran is really the only thing that can get us through this. I'm just so sad to see all these people holding these signs. Probably have no idea what they mean. They just against Trump, against the idea of intervention. But at the end of the day, I've had my phone's been blowing up all day. Everyone in my family.
What are they saying?
Just this is the first chance they've had hope, the first opportunity of changing their regime. I mean, like Trump said, I mean, this is probably the only chance they'll get in generations to really make an actual change. And I mean, when seeing what my grandmother, my mom, my dad are saying, I mean, they've witnessed the regime. I'll tell you, my grandparents, they've seen a lot. They've been through a lot. They were lucky enough to
That's
flee.
true. I agree there.
Before it was too late, but I can't say the same for some of my extended family, some of my cousins, my aunts and uncles. I mean, it's so terrible.
How would you say that this strike on Iran serves the U.S.?
You know, it's a good question, and I will say we'll just have to wait and see. I think at the end of the day, I mean, Iran is the head of the snake. It's behind so many evil attacks, the Beirut bombings. I mean, everything Hamas has done. I mean, you have to understand this all comes from the IRGC. And if you want to talk about being pro-American, I definitely do see the argument of not getting involved and not wasting American blood and treasure on this foreign conflict. I totally get that argument. But when it comes the day after a U.S. strike, it has nothing to do with the innocent Persians lost, and no one's acknowledging that. The American lives that have been lost over decades of terrorism, I can't stand for it. It's all BS in my opinion.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm just wondering, when does the sign start getting passed out? Is there a plan for when that will be? Are you gonna text the group chat? They already know that I'm here, so you don't have to. Hey, how you doing? Can I ask you what brings you out here today? What brings you out here today?
Support. I'm against the war. I come from a war-torn country.
Yeah.
War happened in Yugoslavia when Yugoslavia fell apart. So
there you go. You was right from Yugoslavia.
It's enough of killing children
and
innocent people, because whoever is in power, it's not they're going to be safe. But who's getting killed is innocent people.
Yeah. Would you say that you're supportive of the Iranian regime, or where exactly does your support lie?
My support, where it lies, is in humanity. We shouldn't be involved in, I mean, it's propaganda, basically, what Trump is doing, saying that,
And they threw a missile at the U.S. base in Qatar. That is war. The fuck?
He's there to, like he's telling, oh, now you can bring down the regime in Iran, which is...
And I've heard some folks say that those who are standing with humanity, a lot of people are messaging me saying, well, what about the 30,000 or up to 40,000 protesters that were killed in Iran?
But do you think that that's really true?
Well, Time Magazine, CNN, and a lot of mainstream media have reported on it, and they don't like to report on such things in general. So if they reported on it, I would say, wow, even they reported on it.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You don't think it's true, though?
I really don't. Okay. I think that there are
Have you seen some of the videos and pictures of the body bags?
I did see the body bags, but like I said, there's so many. In this day and age, it's like, what do you trust?
Okay.
What do you trust?
What exactly would be your vision of Iran? Would you like to just see them to continue to live under this dictator regime? Like, what would you like to see?
We're living under dictatorship.
We are?
We are.
Oh, shit, I didn't know.
Really?
No, I didn't. How are we living under a dictatorship?
You don't, if you gotta think what you're gonna put on, right now when you're talking to me, if you gotta think if I'm able to say this, and I'm not gonna be doxxed or banned or whatever.
So she's saying we under a dictatorship.
So I've spoken to some Iranians, and they're saying that we will feel free if the regime is removed. And you have a free Iran thing, and I think we're talking about freeing it in a different way. Do you know what I mean? Like, have you heard that perspective from Iranians that say we will feel free if the regime goes down? Have you heard that?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that lie especially in the fact that the U.S. and Mossad of Israel have openly admitted to putting agents on the ground in Iran, and they've openly admitted to paying protesters in Iran. So they have a hand at stake in the protests. So I think it's difficult to discern, are they talking to an average Iranian citizen?
Right, William. I must have said it a different way. Yes, I get that. I'm gonna stop that right there because I gotta get out of here. But I want to show.
Guys, it's incredibly important where you regime that had kept them, pressured in poverty.
Okay, I want to show this.
This clip. Here's another fellow who is talking about what's going on, and he had a complete different perspective. Go ahead and play this clip.
Someone asked me if I support the protests that are going on in LA. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown fucking tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America. In a country that gave you the fucking freedom to do that shit.
Fact.
You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted. I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while shitting on the country that gave you the fucking freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to fucking Mexico unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the U.S. government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash.
I like what he was saying about the protests on a country that gave you everything and you shitting on it. Fuck y'all. Well, this is them in D.C. celebrating. Show do therapy, show do. This is the Iranian people. They are so happy. Again, backfired on the Democrats. Iranian women celebrating. All around the world, they're celebrating. It's going to be a part 2. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I got to go. Love y'all.